Hey guys, how are y'all doing? This is my first ever video and I'm quite excited about this. In this video, I will be going through how to set up a basic home lab, but I will be aiming to show what has been bothering me for quite some time. Since I was running my VMs on their default settings, I was always afraid about running malware or anything on my virtual machines because what if there was still a way for the malware to infect my computer or my network? Today, I found a solution for my problem and I wanted to share it with you as well. First, we will need to create a virtual environment or sandbox environment, and this can be done through some vendors like VMware VirtualBox or Windows Hyper-V. But for this tutorial, I will be going to use VirtualBox and install Windows and Kali Linux on it. Now let's head over to the VirtualBox website and install it. I have it already open here, but I will include these links down below in the description. So here you will need to choose the operating system that your computer is running and install it. And in my case, it is Windows. So you just click on it and it will get installed. I'm going to cancel it because I have already installed VirtualBox, but you need to just download it, run it, and just leave the default settings. Just click next and install it. And that's it. Now that the VirtualBox has been installed, I will start by downloading the Windows ISO first, and for this you will need to go to this website and then click on download, then run it. Now here you will have to wait for quite some time to get a few things ready, so I will skip when this is finished. Now that it has finished, I will click on accept. Here I will click the second option because we are interested in the ISO file. Leave the settings by default. Choose the ISO file and choose also the place where it will be downloaded, which it doesn't really matter. Now you will click this and wait. Now that the Windows ISO has finished downloading, we can just go to VirtualBox and add our Windows machine to it. Here we click on Machine, New. You can name it however you want, but I'm just going to name it Windows. And in the ISO image, you just click the one that you just downloaded. Hit next. You can leave this as it is. And as for this, the hardware part, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys because it depends on your computer and their specs. So I'm just gonna leave it as they are just for the sake of this lab setup. And here it is. Now I'm gonna power it up. As you guys can see, this is what shows up after you start the Windows machine. You just leave this as it is, you click next and then install now and wait. Now when you see this activate Windows tab, you just click on I don't have a product key. Select the Windows 10 Pro. I accept the license terms. Select custom. Click next. And now Windows is ready to install. While we are waiting for the Windows to be finish being set up, we can just go and download Kali Linux as well. We can go to their website, go to virtual machines, download this virtual box here, but I have already downloaded it, so you guys have to. But as you can see here at the end, it finishes with .7z, and you need to download this thing here, 7-zip. You need to go here and download this, install it, and just run it. It will finish being set up by itself. And after you're done with installing 7-zip and the VirtualBox here has finished downloading, you can just extract it using this and Kali Linux is ready. The only thing left is to set it up, and I will find a video that shows how you can set up Kali Linux and include the link down below in the description. The best thing to do when analyzing malware is to not have an internet connectivity. However, there are some malware that do require it. But for this project, I wanted to demonstrate how you can create a fake internet where the only things that live there and communicate are your virtual machines. Those virtual machines have no access to your host or the computer that you are using right now. The question now is, how do you create that fake network? Well, to do that, you just go to the virtual machine, and now I'm going to show you how to do it on Kali Linux, but you can do it, we will need to do it on Windows as well, but right now it's currently still being downloaded, so you guys can do it by yourself. It the same steps that you're gonna take for the Kali Linux machine. You go to settings, you go then to the network tab, you switch from net, but I had it to bridged, and you go to internal network, you just add a name, and you hit OK. And now you're gonna do the same thing that you did for the Kali Linux on Windows as well, with the same name. That's really important. You have to give the network the same name. Now that everything is ready and up, we need to assign IP addresses to those machines if we want them to talk with each other. And this can be done in two ways, and I will go over both of these ways. The first one is by going to each of the virtual machines and assigning them IPs by ourselves. So if we go to the Windows machine, we go here over on the internet icon, and we right click to open the network and internet settings. We scroll down a bit and we click on change adapter options. We select the Ethernet and go to properties. And then you are going to look for Internet Protocol version 4. Go to properties, and then this is by default using the DHCP, but we will do it manually. So we are just going to assign an IP address, like for example 192.168.30. And for this subnet mask, it's going to be the default one. So we can click OK and then close and close everything. And now in order to test whether this machine got the IP address that I assigned it, we can go to the CMD and then type ipconfig, and as you can see, the IP address that we assigned it has been assigned to this machine. Now we can go to Kali Linux, and over here we go to edit connections, and we choose the wired connection, and click on the gear, go to IPv4 settings and change this method from automatic to manual. We add a new address, and then we add an IP address to this machine as well, 192.168.30.21, and the net mask is going to be 24. We click save, we close this, and then we open a terminal. We have the IP address that we just assigned. Now let's see if we have connectivity between these machines. Go to the Windows machine, and on CMD, try to ping the Kali machine or the IP that we assigned to it. So if we ping 192.168.30.21, as you can see, So we send 4 packets and we receive 4 packets, which means we have a connection. But let's also try and ping these machines from our own computer. So let's try to ping 192.168.30.20. And as you guys can see, request timed out because our computer is not on the same network as these two virtual machines right now. The second way that we can assign IP addresses to these two machines within our network is by setting up a DHCP server. And to do this, you go on your own computer, you open the CMD, and if you when you downloaded the VirtualBox, if you left everything by default, then you will need to go to this directory and then you will need to type the following. Here you will need to write the name of the network that you created. That's why I say that it is very important. And this acts as our router. And here we will specify the range of the IP addresses that we have on our network. And finally, we just enable. So I have already went and started this DHCP server. So if we go to the command prompt on our Windows virtual machine and we type ipconfig, as you can see here, this is the first or the lower IP address. And if we go to our Kali Linux and we open up the terminal here, and if we go IP address, you can see here the DCP server has assigned the Kali Linux this IP address. Now let's see if our computer can communicate with these two machines. So let's go ping 10.22.1.111. And as you can see, it does not have access to any of these machines. Your computer doesn't have any access to these machines. So this is it, guys. This is my first ever video on how to build a basic home lab. I hope you enjoy this, and I'm sorry for the terrible sounds and stuff like that. Uh, thanks guys for watching my video. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.